It's December the 1st. What have we got? Nothing, just more rust. So that's what was behind. That's the level of rust. It's just around the screw hole, isn't it, that held the trim on. One of the screws is still in. On the back of it is, at least. So I'll use these now as templates to cut from my spare rear quarter, which is waiting out there. It isn't just a straight piece of metal. That one kind of is, but this one's got a bit of a curve on it. I just think it's better to, bit of a pain to measure the exact pieces, but we'll kind of get the exact profile we need then, won't we? Yeah. Sorted. Bit of Pritt stick on that. Away we go. I was just thinking while we're in here we might as well spray it with some more protective coating, but that looks okay as it is. Hasn't really been affected by anything. So that's the original paint in there. I don't know whether that's some kind of, it's got to be a top coat, isn't it? But they've just used a neutral kind of metallic, what is that? It's like a metallic beige. It's done a good job anyway. Well, good welds tonight, tacks rather, no blow-throughs, and we're straight everywhere. That might need a little bit of pushing from behind as well. Well, the beauty of doing it this long-winded way, of using the same exact piece from the donor panel, is that you get the exact shape, except that ain't straight, is it? It's got a curve on it, and it blends in nicely there. Just means a little bit less filler, I suppose. All smooth, very smooth, totally smooth. I don't know what's happened there. A tiny bit of a bulge there. That's okay actually, it's just there. And what did I say? I can barely tell anything. It changes shape there anyway, doesn't it? So maybe ignore me. And there's the weld, and then it climbs, then it kind of bulges up then to there. So actually, it's just a little bit of a ridge there on the weld. Or maybe sand a bit more there. The rest of it, totally fine. Right, we're all clamped in, give or take, and it's an old beat up valance, and I shaped it as best I can, but I think the best way now that it's on and I'm happy, is just for the final bits, we're going to use this clamp to pinch it all the way along to join where there's a couple of areas where it's the metal the two flanges are not quite joined. Over there especially, this is fine here. Should add more of these clamps. That's a good clamp for this job. I've got two forks coming up there and a flat edge on the top. Yeah, that's a nice one. These fit here, but not quite here. You haven't got it pincing perfectly there. Anyway, I've had the front wings on and I'm happy with the joins, because on both sides it wasn't quite there, but there's a degree of flexibility in the wings and with the valance, and they'll join no problem. And that's about it. I'm going to get some spot welds on now. Yeah, I've also checked from the edge of the bumper iron chassis rail to the edge of the upper, this section here, 32 centimeters both sides. Wings checked, like I said. There's not much more I can do. Let's get some spot welds on. Well, the front balance is on. I haven't filmed much of this, not for any particular reason. I've just been getting on with it and almost forgot, I suppose. But just a few little updates. It does need some body filler down here where my panel beating has almost done the job, but there's a few ripples there. So yeah, we're going to get this red oxide off tomorrow, put the body filler on, and then we'll epoxy it then as soon as we can. Anyway, the lip on this upper valance has seen better days. The valance has seen better days, but it wasn't a panel that I thought needed replacing completely, because it's okay in the main. But it did have some holes over here, which I've put some copper plating behind, and I've just spot plug welded them now. The side has got to be, I've got to redo that. That's too weak there. And then also the lip. The lip is a bit, I've had to cheat a bit here. I've just megged it. So we're going to have a bit of, it looks a bit messy under there. So we'll get the croc sander on that. I've done the same thing over here. That was in a bad. I should have replaced this panel, this section of it, because I have got a replacement piece. But there's looking fine. I've done the edge quite well, but then I found more on the sides, so it's too late tonight to croc them back. And then we'll get underneath and we'll get the croc if I can. If not, we'll just, no one's going to look under there, but I don't want it just rough weld. I'll get the Dremel in and we'll just tidy up a little bit. Same under there. Where are we? Same under there. And then we can get it wire brush back and primed. Yeah, but the valance is on. It is on. It's all spot welded into place. And then the next job, which is a bit nastier than I remember, is this side section here. I've shot blasted this back, and it's left me with a problem. This area ain't good at all. Well, folks, I think I'm in luck. I went over to my mini scrapyard around the back of the shed, where I've got a few cut-offs of certain sections of old cars. Mark III front end. Yeah, it's got some kind of Gravitex underside protection on there, which is good because it's probably the reason it's been saved. So I'll get the disc out tomorrow, clean it all up, cut it out. Well, why have one front end when you can have two? There it is. I'm hanging it off the I've still got the supports in from where the bumper irons went for the spit for the shell. Yeah, so let's have a look what we're at, what we're aiming, what we're looking at rather. It's not quite aligned, but well, yes it is. Okay, so it's not quite the same either, you know. Look, these holes, no hole there, nothing there. Those smaller ones, they're not aligned at all. So I don't know whether it's pre-facelift on mine's facelift, or these headlights. Yeah, they're the same. They're wide. These are very wide. I think there's three levels altogether. One for the single headlight, and then the bigger ones for the twin, and then the rectangular headlight is the middle one normally. But for mine, I think I've got the wider. So I guess Ford just played with whatever they had in stock sometimes, within reason. Or it's a Taunus, or it's a Mark IV. I don't know enough about the Mark IV for that analysis, but looking at the inside, I'm looking for clues. Look in there. That's full, that's full. That's empty. My cross member was empty and the replacement was full. I had to drill them, remember? Okay, you got these on here. They're not on here. So it's a different, obviously a different base model. It could be a base rather than you know, the grille could have been different, I suppose. And people watching this video will know better than me on that count. That all looks the same. It's not very good light, sorry guys. It's interesting. You've got double oval, and I've got one closed off oval and one round. So he's coming up there. He's sticking up, and this one's sticking down. Yes, fascinating, eh? It is for me. You know, you've got a car that's supposed to be the same, but they're never quite the same. There's always little subtle differences here and there. It's not the best shape, but it's good enough, and it saves a load of fabrication that I probably couldn't do very well anyway. Look at that. My car doesn't have this bit. It does out here, but not all the way down. It's got the most important bit, the lifter. Although we don't need that actually. That's all going to come off. Cut it down here. It's a bit pitted. Ooh, it's okay there, but then immediately I'm going to have to slice it very carefully along there. Okay, for library purposes, here's the big lump of seam sealer. In here. This stuff. That'll come out, I think, with some persuasion. Well, this is the vapor rust with the corner piece. I left it in here for a couple of days, longer than I should, but that's what you get. So I think you're supposed to dry it off. You're supposed to scrub it now, the residue, dry it off, and then dip it back in and then let it dry naturally is the instruction from the manufacturer. And that should have got rid of almost everything that needed to be got rid of. Well, there we are, guys. A vapor rust with 4 days in. I mean, you're not going to get much better than that shot blasting it or media blasting it, give or take. It's done the work. The chemical has done the work of a mechanical solution. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. You've seen how it looked before. So, I mean, the vapor rust smells like it's going to kick some ass, to be honest with you. And it really does. I'm happy with it. I'm not sponsored by it. I bought it years ago. You can even reuse it. I don't think I will, because it's really taken off so much stuff that looks contaminated now, but apparently you can keep reusing it until it's ineffective. So you could try again with something else. Well, that job took a lot longer than I thought it would. Basically, that's mostly MIG. It was blowing through in so many places. So the metal piece that I used was obviously, it was too thin and too old and whatever. So in the end, I suppose it ended up being a kind of de facto template. It's just mostly MIG. Oh my God, that was a tough old job. Let's take you around the other side. A bit dark in here now. There you go. Anyway, that's all going to be primed now, just for now, just so it doesn't flash rust overnight. Got the shape of it okay, I think. Oh. And remember, the only thing that's keeping me sane today, is the fact that it's going to be hidden. This is not a part that's going to be on display. Otherwise, they'll be crying. But the front end is coming along. I was hoping to remove all this paint today and get it, panel wiped and prepped ready for epoxy, but that's gonna have to wait now. Last few holes now on the front end. So we've drilled this hole here that was small. It made it bigger. So we get back to thicker metal with that tool, and then the only way I can see to do it effectively is with a copper plate under it. So I've adapted my copper backing tool and shaped it. Tap it down gently. Just about got enough depth on that now, so we'll just MIG that up and then file it off. Hopefully that'll work, and that this metal is thick enough to withstand. Hopefully I've gone back enough. We'll soon find out. Well, finally something went right. That's a nice job, that. MIG'd up the lip as well, because that was looking a bit sorry for itself. That's all kind of back to its original shape, I hope. Just got to do the other side now. Just to say, in terms of safety, I always use wraparound glasses, the complete wraparounds. You can see the rubber seal, so even with these, sometimes when you're blasting or sanding, I'll sometimes go into the house after, and I'll still find a fragment of metal that has found its way in. So I think if you just use the normal safety glasses that had gaps around the side, you're asking for trouble. So I think I'd recommend always going for these. It makes you look like a bit of a scuba diver, but my bone of my nose is a bit high, so it's a seal. It's a good seal, but it feels a bit high up there. It's hard looking down a little bit sometimes, but that's just this brand probably. Yeah, I seriously recommend this kind of eye protection for car restoration. There you go. Another little hole. My headlights around now. This is this one. We got one there. We got, where are we? Got under there as well. See, the piece missing from the headlight surround joining the slam panel. And there you go, nice, clean and shiny. And this will come off by shaking it about a bit. The copper doesn't stick to the MIG generally, sometimes it might. And we'll go around the back and have a look, but it's cooled down enough now for me to have a, I can't feel any major MIG welding through that. Now that's almost flat. It's a little lump, so I'll crock that back. But I'm happy with that. Right, here we go now. Next one is that. Like I said before, we've got the headlight surround section has rotted. I had to cut it away. I've come in with my new section of slam panel there, but this needs to have a lip like this bit here. It needs to follow the ridge, it needs to follow that and join to it. I don't think I'll get a spot weld in there. I don't know what I'll do. There's a spot there and probably one there, so I don't know if they need to join. I probably will join them. I could probably MIG that, couldn't I? I don't know. No, let's do it properly. Right, clean that back, get a flat piece in, file it, and then it's just what to do with, see these bits here, they're MIG'd further back probably. Sorry, spot welded further back. I think it's going to be a case of pressing it tight and seam sealing it, probably. I got the first weld in, quite nice, and that's the piece being clamped on by clamp. It's a bit bent to the shape of the slam panel, so I've just got one weld on, and then I'll be able to take the clamp off, and then I can manage it then as I come across. Because you can see at the moment it's riding too high further towards the clamp. So take the clamp off next and then see where we're at. It's okay. It's a little bit, it's actually, no, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's pretty flush. Maybe a tiny bit there needs to come down so I can deal with that. Bit of a gap there, but it's still miggable, so that's okay. Yeah, this should be a fairly easy job. Well, that's where I think we'll wrap this video up. We've almost completed the front end of the car now, save for just epoxy priming it, and a tiny bit of welding on the far side by underneath the headlamp bracket. We fixed the C-pillar, as you saw as well, which is now fully ready for some filler, which is the case for almost the whole car now. We do have one area left to do, which you'll see in the next video, which is the I won't film much of it because we've already done the other side, but it's the sill, the driver side, inner and outer sill. So I'm halfway through, well, I've finished, sorry, taking off the inner sill and the outer sill on that side, and I'm just prepping the area now ready for the inner sill, which I've ordered from Express Panels. That should arrive in the next few days, I hope, and then we can get on with that. And then once those sills are on, we've got a modification to make on the rear near side wheel arch, which, if you remember, I've got the wrong shaped outer wheel arch. So I'm just still working out what to do there, whether to replace the entire panel, which will be a big job and also an expensive job because a replacement panel is a lot of money, or I've salvaged the old the area that it's the wrong shape. I've actually still got good edge of the original. The original wasn't too bad at all the way down to where it meets the outer sill. So that's one option. It won't look particularly pretty because it'll be a mismatch. Half of the outer sill will be the one that's on there now, and then you'll be kind of welding in the older original part back. Anyway, that's to come. For now, though, I think we'll sign off for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you fancy subscribing, please do. And we'll keep going. We're almost down, ready for the body filler on all the repair areas that need filling across the. I think I've done 23 or 24 individual repairs on the car so far, possibly more. But you know, where they meet their the original car, there's obviously filling there that needs to be done. Sanding, bodywork is the next job, and hopefully if that goes all well and good, we can then get it ready for the painting, and it starts to get exciting and the rebuild really commences. See you for now.